Pleasure to have Coach Elko join us, and he will go straight to your questions. We'll start over here on the left side with AP.
Good afternoon, Coach.
How are you?
Very good, very well, thank you. AP Stedham, AP as we see it. Coach, what pleased you about Marcel Reed last year, and what would you like to add to get better this season?
Yeah, I think obviously he stepped into a really difficult spot and put himself in position to help us win a lot of football games. I think it started down in Gainesville when he made his first start in the swamp, and that's not an easy place to do it. And so for him to go out and do that and be successful, and now I think the next step for him is just developing as a complete quarterback. And I think he's really put in a lot of work this offseason to put himself in position to take the next step. And I'm excited to watch him become a difference maker this year.
Stay on the left side.
Christy Freud, USA Today. Continuing on Marcel Reed, what do you feel like his best attributes are as a quarterback, and where do you feel like he needs to improve the most, and what are you working on with him in doing so?
Yeah, I think he's really, truly a dual threat. I think he has the ability to make every throw on the field. I think he's got great arm talent. I also think he's got a real ability when the play breaks down to improvise and make things happen with his feet. And you could see that across football, how challenging that is for defense. And I think the next step for him is really just the natural progression of becoming a master of his craft and truly understanding the ins and outs of our scheme, truly understanding the ins and outs of how defenses are trying to attack him. And I think you're going to see him take that next step next year.
Right side, third row.
Trevor Denton with Way 31. That Auburn game with overtime was one of the best games of the college football season. How excited are you to get a rematch with them?
Yeah. No, it was a great game. Obviously, we wish the result was a little different. It's been a great game every year. I've been part of it. I think I've been part now of 5 Texas A&M Auburn games, and they've all been kind of like that. And so it'd be nice to get them back in Kyle Field this year, and I'm sure that'll be a big game.
Second row in the middle.
Jerry Humphrey, AO.com. Speaking of that Auburn game, Cam Coleman probably had one of his best games all season. How do you plan to match up with him this year in Kyle Field?
Yeah, I mean, Cam's an extremely talented kid, and I think they've got a lot of weapons, and obviously they went out and added a quarterback in this offseason, and so, Hugh does a really good job with that offense, and obviously it'll be one of the more challenging games that we have this year.
Stay in the middle, fourth row.
Donna Conrad, 15 ABC and Bryan College Station. Coach, Armage, his second year of the program, and just seems to have a larger-than-life impact. What does he bring not only to your offensive line, but also have that presence in the locker room?
Yeah, I think he's got such a large personality, and you need some of that, and I think we've got a lot of different types of personalities in that room, but some of our other more experienced guys, Trey Zune, Demetrius Crownover, Deuce Fothery, they're a little bit more reserved. And so when you talk about Armage and what he brings, and he's the guy that's picking up chairs and slamming them in the locker room, and I just think there's an energy and charisma that he has that's a really good complement to the rest of that group.
Stay on the fourth row.
Tyler Shaw with KBTX and College Station. Kind of going off, Armage, Will Lee, everyone here, they seem to have a confidence in talking about the goals and the aspirations this season. They say that, they're not lofty. They know how attainable they were last year, just kind of slipped away. So how important is that confidence to have to start the season with these players?
Yeah, I think what's more important is where the confidence is coming from. I think the confidence is coming from the work that they're putting in behind the scenes. And I think we talked a lot about that last year, which is confidence can be a really fickle thing. Every team in America, puts their hand in the air at the beginning of the year and says, I want to win the championship this year, right? And some teams have done the work necessary for them to have a chance to do that, and some haven't. And I think we spent a lot of time on that last offseason, and I think our kids saw what that could do and what that could potentially lead to. And now I think they've even upped it a little bit, trying to go out and make sure we do what we got to do to finish. And so I think where the confidence comes from is something that really excites me.
And there's been a lot of talk with Shamar Stewart and now not signed his contract yet. There's not a chance that he would be able to come back, is there?
Zero chance that was ever considered. It's a great lesson for all of those about facts that can be created by social media. Shamar has been in College Station training like a lot of NFL players do in their offseason. I think he actually just left yesterday to go back up to Cincinnati, and we're excited to see what he does for the Bengals this year.
Left side, fourth row.
Dan Peck, ESPN 1067 in Auburn. Armaja just mentioned Trooper Taylor as someone who has a huge impact. He's been with you since the Duke days. He's coached a lot of football. Just the value that Trooper Taylor provides to a program?
Yeah, kind of unmeasurable. It was interesting. I didn't really know Trooper when I got to Duke. He was the interim head coach, and a lot of times when the new head coach comes in, those don't end well. I knew somebody who knew him and said, hey, sit down, spend some time with him. It'd be worth your time to get to know him a little bit. And I think he's got a really, really tremendous ability to relate to young people. He's obviously a phenomenal coach and all of those things, but he's got an ability to relate to young people at a level that's really, really special. And what he pours into our kids and our players is really special. And so it was really instant connection him and I had. It was great that he decided to stay with me at Duke. I was really excited that he got to come with me at Texas A&M, and he's a huge part of our program and what we do.
Fourth row, middle.
Earlier, we were talking about retention of players in this transfer portal era and just how it seems like y'all were able to really keep a large nucleus of this group together. How important is that when you're trying to build a culture here in year two?
Yeah, I think it's critical. And I've said that every year since the portal has become a thing, that the number one thing you have to do in the transfer portal era is keep your guys out of it. And I think if you're running your program in a way that kids are excited about what you're doing, you see that in your retention rate. And I think that's what you saw last offseason. You saw guys turn down the opportunity to go to the NFL. You saw guys turn down the opportunity to go into the portal and chase whatever. You saw guys that were committed to what we were doing at Texas A&M and wanted to be part of it. And that was always going to be the first step. The first step was going to be to build a program internally that kids were proud of, excited to be part of, and wanted to continue to grow in. And that obviously is a great step and great first step in getting this program where we need it to be.
Fourth row still.
This is your first media days in Atlanta. What were your impressions of the College Football Hall of Fame? And were you able to check out the Texas A&M display that had kind of the Von Miller jersey? And
yeah, didn't get a chance to spend too much time down there. Obviously, it's kind of an in and out process, but it's great to be in Atlanta. I think obviously this is the goal of every SEC program, is to finish the season here, and so to have SEC media days and start here is it kind of whets the appetite for the season and get ready to go.
Third row, left side.
You refer to Marcel Reed as a dual threat quarterback, and that term do you find that term gets thrown around too commonly, and what do you feel like makes him truly that? And then on top of that, to be a dual threat quarterback, you have to be able to handle the pass as well. How are you extending his responsibilities at the line of scrimmage this year?
Yeah, I think it does get thrown around too much. I think sometimes it gets thrown around unfairly. But I do think to be a true dual threat quarterback, you have to be able to do both. And I think Marcel showed that. I think if you look at his passing statistics last year, they were significantly better than a lot of people gave him credit for. He started the majority of our SEC games. We had the leading SEC offense and SEC play in points per game. Those things don't get talked about enough. What Marcel did and grew last year, just even in last year, I think is really impressive. And so again, I think he's really, really excited to get out this year and be our quarterback and lead this team.
Second row, middle.
Jerry Humphrey III, AO.com. Coach, you guys landed a big fish in Casey Concepcion in the transfer portal. Was that a relationship like sparked back since you were in Duke with him being from Charlotte, North Carolina?
Yeah, it was. We obviously recruited him a little bit at Duke. Our safeties coach Ishmael Aristide was kind of involved in that a little bit, but I don't know that he ever strongly considered that as an option for him. We knew him really well from playing against him, and so the second his name got in the portal, we were obviously very familiar with who he was as a player, and so he became a main target right away. And honestly, to go back to the Marcel thing, there was a little bit of hesitation on him in terms of where our program was going. And what we did was we brought him down for a visit during a football practice and brought him out to practice and told him, just come out here and watch this kid throw the ball, watch Marcel and see if it's something you want to be part of. And he did. And he watched it, and he came over to me in the middle of practice. He was like, you were right. This kid can really, like, yeah, he can spin it. And it was cool. And so I was a huge fan of his at NC State. He certainly was a difference maker there. We played against him, and I felt it on the field. And so to now have him in our program and in our locker room is really cool.
Middle section, back row.
Hi, Coach. Besides winning, what is some of your moments as a coach where you realize this is why I do what I love to do?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is seeing growth in young people. I really do. I think when you see, and I think this gets lost so much in how competitive this game has gotten and how much winning and losing is the end-all be-all to some degree. When you take a kid and you start recruiting him at 16 and he leaves your program as a 20-year-old man, and the growth and development and maturation that you see in young people, I think is something, and it's the reason why you get into coaching. It's the reason why you're part of this, is to have positive impacts on making them better men and better husbands and better fathers. And so I still think, even amidst everything in college football today, that's still the core of why I do it, and probably why a lot of us do.
Fourth row in the middle.
Armajé said about Terry Bussey earlier that he lost the freshman fat and that he's all muscular now and that he's in great shape. How have you seen him continue to develop this offseason?
Yeah, it's been a great offseason. And again, I just think it's like the Terry story was so challenging for him last year. And you know, he was such an elite athlete and he dominated on so many fields in high school. I don't know that he ever really truly had an off season. You know, he would go from football to basketball to track, and he just was always going. And obviously his athleticism allowed him to do that at a really elite level. But when you get to college, there's a development of the body that needs to happen. And he was never able really to do that. You know, he wasn't really able to train much in the summer last year. He came in with a little bit of a knee deal, and that limited him until we got to fall camp. And so I just think what you see from him is year one to year two of a kid who now looks like he has a college body, and I think that'll really help him this year in the fall.
Fourth row.
Having a healthy Le'Veon Moss is, you know, obviously huge for this team. What kind of dynamic does he bring, and do you see maybe even a different drive after, you know, sitting out so much time because of injury?
Yeah, I think you know, the first thing that happens when you get injured is the devastation of it, right? And then you go through the pain and agony of the rehab. And then I think when you start getting back where he is now, which is he's running, he's participating, he's moving, he's starting to get back to being his old self, I think you start to realize how much you missed it, you know, and how special it is and how fast it can get taken away from you. And I think that always adds a little bit of energy. And then just in terms of how important he is, you know, going back to the question that was asked earlier, like the story of his transformation and how he has transformed in the last 18 months is unbelievable. And I think he's a kid who is not only going to have a lot of success on the football field, but I think he's going to have a lot of success in life. And a lot of that goes to him, and a lot of that goes to Trooper Taylor, and a lot of that goes to his growth and development in this program since I got there.
Coach, always a pleasure to have you spend some time with us. Thank you very much.
Yep, appreciate
Good luck
you
this
guys.
season.
Thanks. That's it, right? Everybody gets to go home now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good luck. Thank you, guys.
We're happy to have Armajé with us. He wants to say a couple of words.
Howdy, it's a pleasure to be here. Nice to meet all of you, and thank you for having me.
All right. Have you seen teammates come to this before and wonder what it was like?
Yeah, definitely. I was very envious. I always wanted to come to one of these, and I'm just glad to be here.
We aren't overworking you here, are we?
Oh, not at all. It's a pleasure. I'm having fun. Yeah.
We'll open it up for questions. Who would like to start? We'll go over here on the left side.
Dan Peck, ESPN 106.7 in Auburn. Where have you seen growth and development in Marcel over the last few months?
Every way possible. You know, Marcel always approached the game as a starter, as a pro. So just him growing. You know, he was young and not much experience, but the way he came in and helped us out, like, it's something great to build off of.
Middle section, back row.
What was it about the values that your coaches expressed to you when you were getting recruited by Texas A&M that made you want to choose that college?
It was clear cut and easy, and then having a head coach like Elko is fun. Like, he's clear, he tell you what he really thinks, and he don't really lie to us. Like, he says it all the time. Have I lied to y'all yet? And we all say no. And he's like, well, just believe me then. And then just how family oriented like the coaches is, and like everybody around that building. Like, you can tell they've been together for a minute and really value each other. Just hearing Coach Troop and all those other coaches, all their characters come out and you know, invite my family in. It was special.
Right side.
Trevor Denton with Way 31. How excited are you to get another shot at Auburn after having to see them storm the field last season?
Yeah, it's definitely personal. Like, it's coming. Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
We'll go on the back row on the right side.
What are some goals that you have for your team this season, and what role do you think you're going to play in accomplishing them?
Dominate in every way possible. Not make these games close. Some of those games that we won and lost last year shouldn't have even been close. So we're trying to make a statement for real. And the part I bring is being the alpha that everybody want to come out of. You know, when you have a guy like me in your program, like, I make people want to be alphas. And so I try to bring the best out of everybody.
Middle section, fourth row.
Donna Conrad, 15 ABC in Bryan College Station. I know you're probably going to say it's personal, but having grown up in Texas, just how much does it mean to you that you get to play in the Lone Star Showdown for the second year after having it being brought back?
It's very special, you know, especially my parents wanting to come to Texas A&M. I'm living a family dream, so like winning that game, and like I call myself the Texas Star, so like it's personal, like you said.
In the middle.
Tyler Shaw with KBTX in College Station. Armajé, you guys have talked about, you know, the lofty goals you have, you know, wanting to get, you know, to the championship game since it was in your sights last year and in your control. What do you feel like the biggest steps you guys have taken this year are to get to that point?
Yeah, first, realizing that the goals that we have ain't lofty. They right here in our control. Like you said, we was one play away from being in that SEC championship. Like, I had faith all the way until it was 6-0, 4 zeros on the clock versus Texas. So like, I'm sorry I forgot what the question is, but like, it's just, like, we coming. Like, we coming for sure.
Right side.
What areas of your game do you think you have improved this offseason that will contribute to the success of Texas A&M?
The growth of my mental IQ, being able to communicate better and have my eyes up and see things more and learn more football. And just trying to spread that knowledge throughout everybody.
Left side.
A lot's been made of the home field advantage at Kyle Field. What's it like playing in front of those fans?
It's exciting, breathtaking. Like, the energy in that place can shake and move stuff. Like, it actually feels like the stadium, the field is shaking. And then it gets so loud sometimes that I can't even hear myself breathe or think. So it's hard to play, definitely.
Fourth row.
How do you feel about the Southwest Classic moving back to a home and home? Y'all will go out to Fayetteville this year instead of it being at AT&T.
I'm just glad I got to be in the last one at AT&T. And it'll be fun carrying the trophy off their field.
Right side in the middle.
What is the kind of legacy that you would like to leave behind at Texas A&M, and how do you want your fellow teammates to know that you have impacted them? What would you like to leave on them?
Like I said, when I first committed here, signed to come play, I'm trying to put the goon back in maroon goon and make it a staple again. Like, make every offensive lineman in the country want to come play at Texas A&M.
Getting over here on the left-hand side.
We talked about it a little bit earlier, but how do you feel like you've continued to grow as a leader on this team?
Just fully trusting myself and building relationships with my teammates. I feel like that's the biggest thing for a leader, is have an actual personal relationship with a bunch of different people, and then also having them respect you, not just off the field, but on the field as well. Respect your game and think highly of you. Yeah.
The middle.
What's the toughest defensive line you've had to go against?
Toughest defensive line, I really don't want to give nobody that credit. I'll tell you after the season. Yeah.
Can a team have success if the offensive line isn't producing and gelling?
Not at all. I think it all starts there. We've seen it last year with the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. Like, it started with the offensive line. And I feel like we got the same capability here at Texas A&M.
Why are offensive linemen always the most interesting guys to talk to on a team?
Because you don't know us at all. We only talked about when we're doing something bad, so we try not to be talked about at all.
Left side.
You mentioned Coach Troop, just your relationship with him and how he's impacted you.
Yeah, Coach Troop, he's a great guy. He impacted me, like, mentally, physically, and spiritually. The way he pushes me on the field to give more and do more for the people around me, the way he encourages me and gives me a boost of energy with his words, and then always reaching out and trying to help, you know, and definitely helping us connect with God.
here on the aisle again.
I know you've tried to build personal relationships, not just with the O-line, but everyone on the team. Talk about the relationships you have with that running back room.
Oh yeah, those guys, they are hilarious. They all characters. And our meeting rooms are next to each other for this exact reason, because we got to be one of the closest groups. Like we stop by and peek our head in and coach troop meeting, and they'll definitely do the same and just hey and all kinds of stuff. And they like being around us. Like they like messing with us. You'll catch Lev pushing Chase, just going back and forth, and me and EJ having a conversation, and Rube talking to Pop, a freshman. So, we're a very close group.
On the aisle, in the middle.
You talked about the Eagles' offensive line. Is there one of them that you particularly look up to, or someone that you would like to play with alongside of in the future?
Play next to Lane Johnson would be special. But I don't, Mekhi Becton, like the way he changed his career last year and really showed up for the Eagles, big ticket for sure.
I'm sure there's former Aggies that hang around the program. Are there any that you've met who've been an impact on you?
Eric McCoy, he's been a huge impact, just learning his mental way he attacked the game and his process and how his senior year went for him.
Okay. Right-hand side.
Are there any teammates maybe that you noticed that maybe fly under the radar but are a huge contribution to the team and maybe have the chance this season to take a big leap?
I feel like Cassius Howell is that player for us. Like, if he got more snaps, he probably would have led country in sacks. Like, that guy can do things that I haven't seen. He's very special. And that says a lot about the two guys that was in front of him last year at defensive end. And also Dalton Brooks. He's probably one of the hardest hitting football players I've ever been around. Like, I've seen running backs running full speed at him and his feet settle and they go backwards. So those two players right there.
We have time for one more. Who is it? Okay, we'll go back here on the right.
Is in your brotherhood of the football team, what have they added value to you?
Making this thing enjoyable, making it fun, and making it an actual brotherhood. A lot of people in a lot of places preach that and say that, but here it's actually true. Like, we talk about everything. We got a bunch of group chats, like everything, just making it fun.
Ramajay, thank you very much. We appreciate your time. Good job.
Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Giggle.
Stay healthy. Good luck. All right. Good job.
Ready to go?
We're going to finish with a bang. We have a man with some opening remarks. Go right ahead.
Just want to tell everybody thank you for coming out. It's a big time honor to come out to SEC Media Day. At my young age, it's my second time going through the ringer, so I appreciate y'all, appreciate the SEC for putting on a good event, and I open the floor to any questions.
Do players notice who gets picked for these things?
Say again?
Do players, teammates notice who gets picked for these things?
Oh, for sure, 100%.
All right, we're ready for some questions. We'll start right here in the middle on the fourth row.
Torian, Donna Conrad, 15 ABC and Bryan College Station. Can you talk about the impact that Armajé has not only in the locker room, but you go up against him at practice every day as well?
Well, as far as the locker room goes, as soon as he got onto campus, he told me that he always wanted to be an Aggie. So that's something that stuck with me. And he plays like it and how he acts. He does the exact same thing. And on the field, man, he's a head buster. Like, he's always going to try and get the best of you. And whenever he does get the best of you, he's going to let you know about it. So he's a tremendous force to be reckoned with, and I'm glad he's on my team.
Back row fourth.
Dan Peck, ESPN 106.7 in Auburn. Torian, where have you seen growth and development in Marcel this offseason as he becomes more of a leader for this team?
Taking command of the offense for sure, being knowledgeable of the entire playbook, and the relationship that he has with his receivers is what really stands out to me.
We'll go here in the fourth row.
Tyler Shaw with KBTX and College Station. Torian, have you been able to go in and see the College Football Hall of Fame yet?
Oh, yeah, I got to check it out. It's awesome, man.
Did you see the A&M display?
The Von Miller Buckets Award winning jersey?
Yeah.
Checked it out.
Yeah, I just wanted to see your thoughts on that. And then is Von Miller one of those guys, being a linebacker that's kind of maybe a motivation to you as an Aggie?
No, for sure. I walk by Von Miller's Buckets Award every day as I'm walking to and from the workouts and even walking to the facility, So I'm glad that he went to A&M. I'm glad he also got signed by the Commanders recently.
Right side, second row.
Trevor Denton with Way 31. That Auburn game last year was a crazy one, 4 overtimes. How much extra motivation do you get entering the rematch this year, knowing that they stormed the field last year in Jordan-Hare?
No, I definitely understand the significance of that game and that storm. When they stormed the field, man, it was crazy. You know, they stormed the field at us to South Carolina as well. But I'm glad Auburn will be coming back to Texas A&M at Kyle Field. I know Coach Durkin will be amped up, ready to go. He's going to be coming back to his old stomping ground. So that game has a lot of significance to it.
Middle, back row.
Texas A&M is known for their strong rituals. Do you or any of your teammates have really strong rituals for pregame or superstitions that you guys abide by?
I mean, I just like seeing our Majay slam the chair pregame, you know. Even when we come out to the tunnel, we say our little chant or whatever. It just gets the guys fired up. That's whenever we say the chant, I know everybody's on the same page and we're ready to go to war.
Is there a particular opponent that means more to you or a rivalry you like to engage in?
I mean, of course, we have a lot of rivalries, but as far as the game week goes, our opponents are faceless. I think it's always more about what we do and how we execute opposed to what the opposing team is doing.
Okay. Left side.
Chrissy Freud, USA Today. How would you describe Marcel Reed as a teammate? What maybe would have been some of your favorite moments with him so far?
I mean, my favorite moment with Marcel has been celebrating after LSU, just knowing that his story and where he came from and what he had to do to put in the work to be the starting quarterback at A&M. Like, he's one of my best friends on the team, so I'm happy he's leading the charge for us.
Go back on the fourth row.
Dan Peck, ESPN 1067. Again, Coach Elko earlier was talking about Coach Trooper Taylor and just what he brings. I know it's the other side of the ball, but that seems to be somebody who's made a big impact on the program.
100%. He made a big impact on my life when he was recruiting me to Duke in high school. You know, so I'm happy that everything came full circle, that he and Coach Elko both came back to Texas A&M. But how Coach Troop has the running backs in line and just how he has commands of the team, like, I'm really happy, and I'm blessed that God brought us back together.
Middle, back row again.
What is your biggest motivation that drives your competitiveness?
My biggest motivation would probably just be trying to prove to myself that all the work that I put in is validated. Like, I put a lot of man hours each and every week into my craft, and it's not something that I take for granted or take lightly. You know, so the game of football has changed my life for the better and changed my family life as well. It's given us experiences like this and opportunities to travel the country. So, I mean, I love the game of football. I'm blessed to be playing it.
Left side, back row.
Keeby Huggins, WFB. Shamar Stewart, you played alongside him last season. What have you been able to learn from him taking into this season?
Shamar Stewart?
Yes.
Well, you know, Shamar Stewart got drafted by the Bengals, and I've been seeing reports that he's going to be coming back to play for us, which is a little crazy, you know, but I just let the media do their thing. But Shamar Stewart is a great friend of mine. You know, Shamar was always very open to me, and he always talked to me as a freshman when not a lot of people knew who I was. And that's something that always stuck with me, because he was always so nice and kind, and he was open to building a relationship with me. And Shamar was like the #2 player in his class, and me, I was like 978. So for Shamar to talk to me before I even played a snap at A&M is something that always stood out to me.
Back here in the fourth row.
Who's someone on the defense this year maybe that could take people by surprise, that, you know, maybe it's not on a lot of people's radar, but that you've noticed is really taking a step up?
Dayon Hayes, for sure. We got him from Colorado. Dayon, he's a tremendous football player. He loves the game, and he just plays with that type of passion. So I'd probably say Dayon for sure.
Stay on the fourth row.
Other side of the ball offensively, especially that running back room, seems like at full health they can be really deep. Just what have you seen from them during practice?
I mean, in practice they give us headaches, just how they line up, what type of plays they run with all types of running backs. You know, like that, the entire stable, they can go at any given moment, and that all the way from the walk-ons all the way to Le'Veon Moss. Like, that entire room is coached the right way, and that's a tribute to Coach Troop as well.
Over here on the right, then pass it to your left.
Hi, Torian. I was wondering, A&M filmed the SEC Netflix special. I was wondering how that was for you.
I mean, it was a tremendous experience for sure. Dave Targan and his group, they did it all the right way. They mic'd us up for practice. They went with me and my family for Thanksgiving before the Texas game. We had a lot of interaction, so I'm looking forward to watching it. I hate that it's coming out during fall camp, but I know I'll get around to watching it sometime soon.
On the end, back row.
A&M starts the season with 5 of 6 home games, including 3 straight SEC home games to open their SEC schedule. What type of statement do you guys want to make to the league and college football as a whole?
I mean, rule number 1, you got to protect Kyle Field. You got to protect Kyle Field, especially with you playing 3 straight SEC games, and you know that has heavy implications on playoff matters as well. So you got to take care of Kyle Field. I mean, that's the homeland, and Kyle Field is not something that we take for granted. Like, the power of 12th man is real, so we'll be ready to play for them for sure.
Left side, back row.
Yeah, along those lines, just the boost that Kyle Field can provide, especially for a defense.
Kyle Field for defense, I mean, it really helps the offense out. I mean, it hurts the opposing offense as well. Like I saw for the first time, we played Alabama my freshman year. I think that was back when Coach Saban was coaching as well. So you know they're going to be extremely disciplined. And they had like 6 to 7 false starts versus us. I remember at one point it was like 3rd and 28. And I'm like, man, how is this possible? And it's all through the 12th man.
Fourth row.
Yesterday, I asked DJ Lagway about coming to play at Kyle Field, and he actually mentioned that y'all had played against each other in high school, and he said you got the better of him, but he's excited to come back and play at Kyle Field. Just what have you seen from him last year, getting to play him at the Swamp, and obviously y'all came away with a pretty big win there.
Yeah, DJ has no fear, and that's something I knew when we played him when I was Temple versus Willis back in my senior year in 2022. You know, just to see DJ on the field last year, it was cool, and this year I know he'll be fired up as well. Willis isn't too far from Texas A&M, and so I know he'll have a lot of families there, and so will I. So I'm looking forward to facing off to him. He's one of those quarterbacks that you always look forward to facing because you kind of have a relationship with him. You know his family and what he stands for, so I'm ready for it.
Fifth row in the middle.
If you had the opportunity, which NFL player, former or active, would you like to pick their brain on your position?
For my position, Ray Lewis for sure, and Luke Kuechly as well. Luke Kuechly, I like how Luke studied the game, and he was always like he was peaking the release at number 1 and number 2 as well. So when you talk that much in detail with some guys who really love football, I feel like we'd probably be in that room all day.
Go back on the right side.
Torian, as a fellow Aggie, I know you're probably about to receive your Aggie ring. How excited are you for that?
I mean, that's a big time accomplishment for sure. I got some family who graduated from A&M, so they're ready for for me to get my ring. And as far as the ring dunk goes, I've never even drank a beer in my life. I'm not even 21 yet, but I don't know how I'm gonna do it or if I'm gonna do it because that ain't me at all.
Hopefully you're under a minute.
Under a minute? No, ma'am. I'm not gonna be able to do that. I'm just being honest with you. Like I've never even had a beer before, so to think that you have to drink an entire what is it, like a gallon? A pitcher to get your ring, man, I'm gonna have some help from my family. No, seriously, though.
Who would like the last question for 2025 Media Days? Going once. Dan, we'll close us out.
What does it mean to be representing your program at SEC Media Days?
It's a big time honor, man. It really is. Just knowing my story and knowing the work I had to put in to get to this spot and just even to get on the team in general in 2023, it was a lot of stuff that we had to go into place and a lot of factors that went into that. But as far as just being up here on this stage, man, it's a big time blessing. It really is. Knowing that my teammates truly respect me for who I am and what I stand for, and they just know I love the game of football and I love my teammates as well. And so when we have little celebrations and we talk, like I always make sure that I tell them I appreciate them because I really do, because they changed my life and they allowed me to lead them without any resentment or any backlash from it. Like whenever I lead them, I'm gonna lead them tough. I'm gonna tell them that I know you can do better. I know you can bring the best out of you, and that's what I'm continuing to do for them. So I'm excited, man. These guys are very receptive to my leadership, and I'm thankful for that.
Great job, and we look forward to seeing you on the field this fall.
I appreciate y'all. Thank you. Gig 'em.
Have a safe trip back. Good luck. We welcome our first Aggie today. It's Will Lee. We want to go straight to questions. Do we have anything out there? We're right here in the front row.
JerryHumphreyAO.com, when you guys matched up against Auburn, kind of talk about the matchup you had with Cam Coleman.
Yeah, it was a great matchup. You know, he's a great receiver. You know, he was young. I think he was freshman, but you know, we treated him like he's been there all 4 years. You know, like he's a great receiver. He has great talent, and he got great guys around him. So, just being in that game, knowing what we got to deal with, and knowing what comes with it was a big stepping stone for us. But you know, we was ready for it.
Middle aisle, fourth row.
Donna Conrad, 15 ABC in Bryan College Station. Will, you go up against Armage in practice all the time. What does he bring to the O-line, and then what kind of leader is he and presence does he have in your locker room?
Yeah, he brings confidence to the O-line. You know, like he makes sure all those guys are just one move and train. You know, nobody's falling off, nobody's just leaning no different direction, but he makes sure everybody's intact and moving as one sound team. And then in the locker room, you know, Amaje, he's always a guy that you're going to hear in the locker room, you know. Like he's always picking guys up. He's always joking around, letting guys know things. But he's a great guy to have on the team, and I'm glad he's on our team, you know. Like he makes sure everybody's best, makes sure that everybody's doing good for everybody and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Left side, third row.
Tyler Shaw with KBTX in College Station. We talked in there, and you said The goal is an SEC championship, national championship. What do you feel like is the biggest step that needs to be taken this offseason for you guys to realize those goals?
Honestly, just living where our feet's at right now. I feel like working on finishing 4 quarters worth of football, that's the biggest thing that we need to focus on. Last year our season was in our hands to go to the SEC championship, in our hands to go to the playoffs. We just couldn't finish. So the main goal right now is to finish and then play 4 quarters worth of football.
Right side, fourth row.
And with Way 31, that Auburn game for overtime, one of the craziest games of the college football season. After seeing them storm the field, how excited are you to get another shot at them this season?
Yeah, I'm real excited. Seeing how they ended, and me not being able to finish the game because of an injury, it was just real tough. Just watching my teammates go out there and battle for me and then battle for our team to try to pull it through, and it fell short was real tough to see. So I'm waiting for that game, and I'm real excited.
Left side on the aisle.
Dan Peck, ESPN 1067 in Auburn. Where have you seen growth and development in Marcel over the last year or so?
Really just this winter and this spring. Marcel knows what he needs to do to carry this team and take us to where we need to be, and him putting that weight on his shoulders and carrying it positively is amazing to see. You're seeing him grow up in the locker room every day. He's getting bigger, he's getting stronger, and he's really just taking care of his teammates and making sure everybody understands what we want to do, and we're going there.
In the middle, fourth row.
Last year, Coach Elko talked about being able to build a championship mindset. How do you feel like the team has been able to adapt that mentality throughout the offseason?
Like I said before, really, the biggest thing here is, us finishing. That's the main thing we need to do. We had everything we needed in our hands right in front of us, and all we had to do was finish. So really just starting off where we left off and then just keep moving everything forward and taking it one day at a time. I feel like we're going to be in good hands.
Left side.
Is there? Do you have a favorite matchup or receiver that maybe in the SEC that when you see that you're up against them that you like that challenge?
I wouldn't say I have a favorite matchup. Just anybody that we play on Saturday, I'm ready to go against, and they finna get my best and they finna get my all. I don't got no favorite matchup. Everybody can get it any day, any time. So, yeah.
You have as good a home field advantage as anybody in college football. Is there an opposing road site that you like to play at, though?
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to play at Texas. Me being at K-State, losing there in overtime and just getting back there and just beating them at their home was going to be the best thing to me. So, that's real exciting for me.
Here in the middle again.
This year, the Southwest Classic will go back to a home-and-home with Arkansas. How do you feel about traveling up to Fayetteville and that game no longer being at AT&T?
It's just like a regular game to me. You know what I'm saying? We're going to take it off. We're going to show up at third place, do what we need to do, and get the job done. I'm really excited there, just to see a different field, seeing a different atmosphere. But it's all the same. We got to get the job done at the end of the day.
Right side.
What have you done during the off season that has prepared you for this upcoming season?
Me personally, just really stepping up my leadership role in the locker room and on the field. I want to be that guy in the back end on the secondary that my teammates can lean on and trust on. I'm doing as much as just a little more studying, a little more lifting weights, just everything I can do just to help the team out. I want to be that guy that they can lean on and know that, I'm going to get the job done when we need it.
Left side.
You talked about, being excited to go play at Texas this year. Just what did playing in the renewal of the Lone Star Showdown mean to you last year?
Me being from St. Louis, a lot of people would say, oh, this rivalry doesn't have nothing to do with him, really. But, it has a lot to do with my teammates. And I care about my teammates, so it's a big thing for me. So, just playing them, I feel like I'm from Texas, and that rivalry is as big as any other rivalry for me. So I was taking it, with a grain of salt, taking it one day at a time to prepare for it. And then when it came, I was ready to play.
And one of the plays, you'll be going closer to home when you guys go to Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
How much are you looking forward to that matchup? And do you think Drinkwitz is going to have a blanket for you this time?
Oh, man, I'm real excited for that matchup. When I was back at K-State, we played Missouri, and we lost to, the SEC field goal, the 62-yarder. So I'm 0-1 there. So us going there to play, I'm real excited. I need one there, and I need it bad. So I'm real excited to play there.
We have time for a couple more questions. Is there anything else? We'll take you right side again.
How would you describe your team's culture this season, and how do you think that could be one of the keys to success in a very competitive conference?
Our culture is really 4 quarters. Like I've been saying all day, like we're really built around finishing this year. Like we got everything laid out in front of us of what we need to do. Elko made it real clear on what he wants us to do and wants to take us, and we just got to trust in his plan and just do the best we can do and then get there. Like it's gonna be bumps in the road. It's always gonna be like that, but we just got to lock in the little key details and do what we need to do, and we're gonna be okay.
Go here in the middle section, back row.
What is a message or piece of advice that a former coach or teammate has given you that sticks with you?
Honestly, I would say just take one day at a time. Live where your feet's at. Like this thing comes fast. Like I remember when I was in junior college. I remember when I was just graduating from to go to college, and now I'm on my last year. So really just live where your feet's at and take it with a grain of salt every day. Like you got to enjoy the moments. You got to enjoy the goods and the bads. So you just got to do everything right.
Talk about stepping up your leadership. There's leadership by example and leadership by words. Which way is best for you?
I feel like I'm more of a leadership by example guy. I'm not that type of guy that's going to be in the locker room and talk your ear off before the game. I want you to be comfortable and be in your own mind and get ready your own way. But when I'm out there, you're going to see 100% from me every time. And honestly, just me giving my best work out there on the field and just you seeing that should make you want to give your best work, knowing that I'm willing to put my body on the line for the team and for everybody. So I feel like leading by example is my best way of leading.
Anybody else? Thank you very much, Willie. Good job.
Yep, thank you.
Stay healthy this